Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Pat Gray Unleashed, sponsored by ExpressVPN. Surf the web with peace of mind. Sign up now at expressvpn.com/unleashed. And here we are again. Another day and another 5, 10, 15, 20 rights removed from us. More insanity spilling out of our society than ever before. And so we're just here trying to make the apocalypse fun. That's our goal right now. Let's just make it fun. Yes, we're all being told to stay in our homes. We've got to shutter our businesses. We have no recreation to speak of outside of the home. But we can still have some fun together. Can we not? Plus, it may sound a little bit like I have COVID-19 right
what's
now.
going on?
Well, I'm sick, of course. My grandson, last 2 months or so, has developed croup over and over and over.
Oh, no.
And last week when I was playing with him, and he just sneezed right in my face. And I thought, okay, good. So now I have croup, I guess, or whatever the adult version of croup is.
Thanks for the heads up. Wow.
Yeah, you're welcome. So
Okay.
Don't let me breathe on you over there.
Noted. Unrelated. I'll be working from home tomorrow. Completely.
Really? That's really
unrelated.
strange.
Yeah.
Weird time to come up with that.
Wow. Croup, an upper airway infection that blocks breathing and has a distinctive barking cough. All right.
Although I don't have the barking. I got whatever version of
got a meow cough?
sickness that brings. I don't know. But really some sobering statistics on this coronavirus thing. The death toll now over 5,000 in the U.S. More states have issued stay-at-home orders. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis talked about his decision to expand the stay-at-home order. And there's more and more talk about whether or not football's going to be played this fall.
What do you mean there's more and more talk? What's you mean good talk?
Some of it is. Some of it's pretty good. I think the NFL is resolved that, yeah, we're going to have a season. And it's going to start on time. And, we might not do everything. Like, we may not invite spectators here. So the fans may have to watch this from home. But I'm good with that.
Yeah, me too.
At this point, like you said yesterday, we've been so Overton windowed with zero sports and zero places to go and anything to do. We'll be happy to just watch it on TV.
Yeah.
In empty stadiums.
Yep, it's amazing what you'll tolerate, when circumstances change in your world.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot what Pat had tweeted out this morning. I thought it was great that he's going to start allowing people just to, maybe he'll charge people to look through the window while he plays Madden on his PlayStation. I'll pay.
I'm willing to pay, yeah.
Patrick Purser, I'll pay.
Where does he live? So we need the airfare,
Yeah,
right? We got to get a hotel, and then whatever it costs to watch through his window.
His bio.
I'm ready to do it.
His bio doesn't say, but whatever. I'm there, man.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready to do it.
Yeah.
215,000 infections now. I think I saw the latest figures. 215,000. So you extrapolate that with the mortality rate at 5,000, and the mortality rate is low. So you've got a really good chance surviving this thing even if you do get it.
Well, I think we got to take China out of the stats. I mean, they've been busted. They're definitely lying about their numbers. So I would throw that data point out completely.
Well, when you think of, they claim, I think 3,200, 3,500 dead. And we've already surpassed that. Come on. You know that they're well above that.
Yep.
And they keep lying about it day after day. Another celebrity not only contracted the disease, but actually died. This is really sad. Adam Schlesinger.
Yep.
From Fountains of Wayne.
Terrible.
Co-founder of that band, died of coronavirus complications.
He's the guy who brought you the song Stacy's
Mom has got it going on.
Yeah, brought you That Thing You Do for that movie with Tom Hanks.
Oh.
He wrote that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's been associated with other bands that I like. And Sucks.
You know some of these other bands? I was reading about that, and I didn't recognize them.
Ivy is a
Ivy.
good band, but anyhow, I hate it. I
Yes.
absolutely hate it. 52
Really
years
sad.
old, leaves behind 2 young daughters.
They didn't say whether he had underlying health problems, but he must have, because it said complications from the virus.
Yeah, I don't know that he did. That I didn't read.
Yeah, I didn't see that he did, so I don't know.
I tell you, it's what's so strange about this is that some people you hear, like I heard of a 44-year-old father who died, and that was all he had was COVID-19. So it's really affecting some people a lot in very severe ways, and others it is like the common cold, or they don't even realize they have it
Yeah,
at
they don't
all.
even have any symptoms.
It affects everybody.
They're trying to
differently.
figure that out now, how that's happening, why that's happening. So they're studying that, but they don't know right now the answers to a lot of these things. Meanwhile, an Oregon World War II veteran, 95 years old, who contracted the disease, survived it. He's on the other side now, and he said, I survived Guam. I can get through this BS. Although he said the full
I
word.
love it. 95 years old. Yeah, I think he
great.
just recovered in a bedroom at his house.
Survived the foxholes of Guam.
Mm-hmm.
He and got through coronavirus. That's great.
Yeah.
Grandpa Bill's pretty hardcore, his granddaughter said. Yeah, it sounds like it. Kelly, his granddaughter Kelly said, who lives just. Oh no, this is his name. Kelly lived through the Great Depression. Was among the first U.S. soldiers to set foot in the South Pacific. Started feeling unwell with a low-grade fever March 15th due to several underlying medical conditions, including kidney disease, a congenital heart condition, and high blood pressure.
But this guy is hardcore.
He went to the hospital and was kept overnight. Then he went home and just wrote it out at home.
Amazing.
That's incredible. He had a lot of underlying health problems. Still made it through it. That's amazing. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. So you've got to see some of this footage from Las Vegas. They've been showing some of the main tourist areas, the areas that people frequent all the time, like Times Square, completely empty. Look at this with Las Vegas. There was a man who lives there that just rode around town and recorded all the scenes of empty space. Look at this. This is one of the most bustling cities in America. Completely shut down, devoid of any kind of activity.
Wow.
Place after place. All the hot spots along the strip. Nobody. Literally no. There was one guy in one of these shots that I saw.
Was it an Elvis impersonator? I bet it was an Elvis impersonator.
Yes, it was
They're always out there.
a homeless Elvis impersonator. And look at this.
I mean, this is
that chilling?
this is eerie, man.
They said in the article, and it is. It's like a horror movie.
It's worse than a horror movie because this stuff is real that's happening to this country. And
Right.
who knows what we look like 1 month, 6 months, a year from now, 10 years from now, all because of this, beyond. And there's going to be so much that changes. And, I mean, some of it will be, there could be some silver linings in this. But right now, it doesn't feel like there's a lot of silver linings waiting for us on the other side.
No, I mean, look at this.
I mean, I was in so many of these places less than a year ago. Just looking at this, man. My gosh.
2 months ago, would you have believed that this is possible? You would have said, "Oh, come on, they're doing some kind of CGI here."
You're right. Right. How do they get the streets clear for this movie shot? This is the time to shoot movies in these locations if you don't want people in the background. But I'll tell you who did see it coming was Tom Cotton. My goodness. He's been trying to warn us for a long time. We were playing clips of his back in January of him warning us about this. And, of course, Congress was too busy. Too busy.
Well, they were trying to
with impeachment.
impeach the president. I mean, you can't take time out from that.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a great article that National Review did where it talks about how he had to skip some impeachment proceedings in order to go and talk to White House officials about this impending virus threat.
Amazing.
And he talks about how people weren't listening to him on Trump's staff. that it was Trump himself that went against most of his advisors. The health advisors weren't really taking it as serious as, say, the national security advisors. So anyhow, I mean, it was January 29th is when Cotton actually got to talk to the president about this. And January 31st, the president shut down travel between China. So don't tell me, Nancy Pelosi. And have you heard that the Democrats are now talking about doing some sort of investigation? What did he know and when did he know it? Are you kidding me? Are you for real?
Adam Schiff is doing an investigation. It's unbelievable.
I can't.
It's unbelievable.
In the middle of this crisis.
Crazy.
At that. It is maddening.
Jim Acosta was desperately trying to place blame on Trump the other day for not shutting America down sooner. He said, this may be an uncomfortable question, but what would the models have looked like that Dr. Birx and Dr. Fauci showed us if we had started the social distancing guidelines sooner in February or January when China and South Korea were doing these sorts of things? I don't know, Jim. The reason we didn't quarantine the nation in January is because literally no one in America had the disease. It wasn't until January 21st that we had our first case. One person on January 21st contracted the disease. It's just ridiculous. What if we would have quarantined in November last year? What if we would have started last August? What if we would have shut down the country in 2016? We'd never have this. I mean, lunacy. Just lunacy.
Yeah, and I don't know when you want to play this, but we have a montage of Democrats giving lots of bad advice very recently.
What a surprise.
Yeah.
All right, let's see that.
The risk to New Yorkers for coronavirus is low.
And our city preparedness is high.
This should not stop you from going about your life, should not stop you from going to Chinatown and going out to eat. I'm going to do that today myself.
Come to Chinatown. Here we are. We're, again, careful, safe, and come join us.
There is no concern at this time for coronavirus in our region.
The Department of Sanitation is ready for Mardi Gras 2020.
The facts are reassuring.
We want New Yorkers to go about their daily lives.
But there's really no need to panic and to avoid activities that we always do as New Yorkers. We are a hardy people.
Americans do not need to panic. What I would suggest, however, is that Americans take this as a wake-up call for seasonal flu.
There's very little threat here. This disease, even if you were to get it, basically acts like a common cold or flu.
So we're telling New Yorkers, go about your lives, take the subway, go out, enjoy life.
And certainly not
Lick
to miss
handrails.
the parade next Sunday. I'm going to be there.
If you had to, would you close down the borders?
No.
We need to be honest about the American people, with the American people about the fact that we can't keep people coming here from China.
And transmission is not that easy. I think there's been a misperception that coronavirus hangs in the air waiting to catch you. No, it takes direct person-to-person contact.
We also know that if it were likely to be transmitted casually, we would be seeing a lot more cases.
A lot more
Right.
cases. Right. Yeah. Brilliant. That looks great, doesn't it? In hindsight. And some of those same people are bashing the president for not taking it seriously enough. It's just, Gilly, okay. The media doing everything they can to disparage the president, to try to bring him down and stain him for the upcoming election, if we have an upcoming election. They're actually saying we may do that by mail. Have you seen that? You read about this? You see this in the paper today? We actually might vote by mail. You see that, Kevin?
Yeah, I'm trying to say that'd be crazy, Jay.
I just wouldn't stop talking, though, right, Kevin? I just wouldn't. I ask you a question, and I just keep talking. You see this?
Man. Could use some Jay Leno right about now in our world.
Really could. Yeah.
Of course, if he's doing a live show, he's not. So you can't. Because that's where we're at.
And on the other hand, the media has been praising China up one side and down the other as they condemn the U.S. response. Meanwhile, the Chinese tests don't work. Their masks are defective. And they're talking about a second wave, which I think is really the first wave. And now they're so overwhelmed by it, they're just admitting, yeah, we're getting back into gear here and shutting things down again.
Yeah, you remember a few weeks ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, they tried to set up that narrative where it's like, well, we don't want foreigners coming over here and reintroducing it to us.
Right.
I mean, they totally have been setting this up, and they're doing a terrible job at it. Like I said, the U.S. intelligence, you're busted, and they even are talking about now, I think I saw something where China is now admitting something about how they delivered the news about the shortcomings and deficiencies. Oh,
my.
So there you go.
From the great Chinese response.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Yeah, let's see. In response to the shortcomings and deficiencies, we must improve our national emergency management system and improve our abilities in handling urgent and dangerous tasks. It is necessary to strengthen market supervision. How about you shut them down? Resolutely ban and severely crack down on illegal wildlife markets and trade. Yeah, that's where it came from.
Stop people from eating bat.
Yeah,
maybe that'd be a pretty good move on your part, I think.
Or as the 2015 documentary from Italy TV that we'll probably talk about later on. Why don't you stop experimenting on viruses in that Wuhan lab? Because that's likely where it came from, if you ask me.
Yeah. Did you see that they're talking about one site for the NBA playoffs, the whole playoff season?
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I think they just take the regular season standings as they currently exist and then start a tournament in Las Vegas with no fans and just run straight through in Vegas. That's interesting.
Okay, these aren't single eliminations. We get the series, right?
Yeah.
Series.
As far as I know, it's they'd still
but
play.
They only had like maybe 3 weeks left, right, of the season.
Yeah, so you'd have a decent amount of regular season games already completed that you can just say, okay, everybody who was in the playoffs as of 4 weeks ago.
Yeah,
that's where you are now.
As a Hawks fan, I've got no dog in this fight. They were eliminated in, I don't know, November. So whatever happens, NBA, go for it, So, yeah. But the NHL, okay, now that's... Do we have an update? I haven't. All I've seen is they moved the date back when they're allowed to start reporting. I forgot what it is, but it's... we need sports, man.
Yeah.
The Kirk Herbstreit. I printed this up. Did you read the email that Jeffy sent us? This is really funny. The coach for Missouri, the new head coach, he was doing a press conference and he said, quote, this is the Missouri football coach, no offense to Mr. Herbstreit, who says, cancel football. No offense to Mr. Herbstreit, but deciding who's going to win a game on College game day is a lot different than getting the world in a panic about whether or not we're going to play a college football season. I love that. For me to forecast anything in the future is a lot of wasted energy and effort. So anyhow, he says...
bless him for that.
Yeah, leave those thoughts to other people right now.
Yes, please.
Kirk.
Yes, please.
Thanks, Jeffy.
Jeez.
That's good stuff. I'm suddenly a Missouri fan. Anyhow, we got to have some sports, and we got to have them really soon.
And I think they're trying everything they can think of to make it happen. I think the NBA wants to finish their season, and they haven't given up on it certainly yet. And I think that's a viable alternative. Just quarantine all the players in Vegas, let them just mingle among themselves, and then you play at the various basketball venues in Vegas.
Test them every day.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Baseball, yesterday, the update with them was talking about, just shifting the regular season. We play through October, and we'll do playoffs in November and December as a possibility, a distinct possibility right now. Okay, whatever.
We'll take it at this point.
Seriously. And if you're a northern team, you might need to find the nearest dome stadium if the weather doesn't cooperate.
Yes.
I don't know. I mean, if you make the playoffs, I'm sorry. If it's snowing in Chicago, maybe you get over to where the nearest dome stadium is.
And pray for global warming.
And pray for global warming, yes.
Yeah, that's what you do. Which, by the way, did you see the latest report about Antarctica?
I'm about to move there? No?
Are you? Well, yeah, they don't have the virus there. I'll say that.
Yep.
They have found evidence now of a rainforest that existed in Antarctica.
Awesome!
90 million years ago, there was a rainforest in Antarctica. I love that story.
I did not see this. I love this.
Unbelievable.
So
it's hotter than ever. This is all unprecedented. Right. You can't have polar ice caps melting. You look at all these glaciers that are gone.
Wow.
This is unprecedented. It's never happened. Really? We're finding evidence now that Antarctica was a rainforest.
Yep.
90 million years ago, when the planet was much warmer. But in a surprising twist, they have discovered Antarctica also supported a swampy rainforest 90 million years ago. That is fantastic.
And see, you don't even have to go back that far because the Vikings grew barley in Greenland. Right?
True. Yeah.
And then the Middle Ages, they're thinking this is something they can't completely prove, but that they think they grew citrus trees up in England.
And I've heard reports there were palm trees in the Arctic. So
who's the science deniers?
They are.
Come on.
Yeah, they absolutely are. Scientists know that during the age of the dinosaurs, conditions were warmer, the mid-Cretaceous era, from 80 million to 115 million years ago, was the warmest period for Earth in the past 140 million years. Well, except for last week, of course. It's now second.
They're doing with their whole global warming numbers what China did with their coronavirus numbers.
Exactly.
They just, that didn't happen. Nope, nothing to see here. Wow, just totally ignoring it. Okay.
So it's the southernmost sample of the Cretaceous period collected, revealing that what Antarctica was like between 83 and 93 million years ago. I mean, that's just incredible. The preservation of this 90 million-year-old forest is exceptional. But even more surprising is the world it reveals. Well, yeah, surprising to you because you're all denying the actual science that things were completely different. And we go through cycles. And it's not a big deal that we're warming up 0.9. It's not even 0.9 degrees. We've even had that kind of been debunked lately.
Yeah.
Is that it's not even that warm.
Yeah, because they're basing that off of literally made up temperatures where they don't have weather stations. Oh, I don't know. Just put the just put the average temperature. No, that's not. And then I think my best the fact that I love the most about the raising of the global temperature is if they won't understand that they made up the data at certain weather stations, then you can explain to them, well, before the fall of communism, Siberia, you had Russian employees that had to man weather stations in the coldest part of the world. And then
we don't do that
when
anymore.
that government fell, they said, I don't have to stay here. Oh, later. And now we're not recording those temperatures from Siberia that would help with the average temperature around the planet.
And even that's not enough because when they don't like the temperatures of the past, they go back and revise them.
Right.
To make it look warmer today than it's ever been. A million times. We've talked about it a million times. It's so frustrating. But what a fun fact to share with your global warming alarmist friends. Antarctica used to be a tropical rainforest.
Okay, whatever.
Where'd you get that from Donald Trump? Fake news.
Wait, and don't forget a swamp, too. I love that fact, too. A swamp in Antarctica.
Love it.
That is good
I absolutely
stuff.
love it.
Where's that story? Because we'll need to tweet that out so people can share that.
I'll find that. Find where I got it. By the way, we're proposing, not we, President Trump is proposing another $2 trillion for infrastructure. Seriously, though, why stop there? Why stop there? As long as we're just printing money, as much money as we want right now, with absolute reckless abandon. Why not 10 trillion or 100 trillion?
Yeah.
Or a quadrillion?
Well, I think at some point you get to where you don't have that kind of time to print up that kind of cash. I think that's that's the only limitation we're at, is how long it takes to print this stuff.
Because I would think if we don't care at all about spending anymore, which we don't, if 2 trillion is good, why isn't 2 quadrillion better? I mean, come on, let's go for it.
Right. I want tunnels, not just bridges. I want tunnels under every city. I want interstates that take me from one side of the Dallas Metroplex to the other. And I want to be underground the whole time.
Here's what I want. individual tunnels for every person.
Right?
I have my own tunnel, so I don't have to put up with any traffic.
Thank you.
You've got your own.
And I'll never know how to get access to your road, because then I'll be able to get to your house.
Right.
Whereas my road will not go anywhere near your neighborhood.
But it definitely will come to the studio here. So
it'll come to the studio, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So I like this. Let's explore this. How much would it cost to...
I don't care. Why even ask?
To dig tunnels.
Why even ask?
And what's so helpful is they print $20 bills here in Fort Worth. So
Right,
we could just go down there. Oh, this is...
Get all the 20s we want.
We got this.
We got it.
We got this.
Yeah.
By the way.
The only limit is the paper supply, and we'll just cut down every tree in the world if we have to.
I like this.
I love it.
Yeah, how do you want to play this, far lefties? Okay? Because we could build everything you want in your socialist paradise.
Yep.
But we're going to have to take your trees from you.
All over it. And they should be too, because we can have individual tunnels for each of us to get us to work and back.
I like this.
I do too.
I like it a lot. By the way, are you willing to take your rainforest found in Antarctica story to the bank? Are you believing that? Because I googled did a Google News search here, and looks like it's on CNN.com. That story is on CNN. Are we going to believe that now?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, CNN is admitting it. So point your friends to that as the source if you have to.
Yeah, right. Don't even tell them you got it here.
Right.
Just use CNN.
CNN headline: Evidence of ancient rainforests found in Antarctica. Oh, that's the link we're posting.
Really surprised they posted that, because I mean, that proves that this is nuts what's going on right now. It's nuts.
Now here's the only problem. The only problem I see on this story is that it's dated April 1st, 2020. So your friends will probably be like, "Oh, they're just kidding around. It's April Fool's Day joke."
Right.
Really? Oh, we got a good story we have to get to later about how CNN tricked its viewers on April Fool's Day.
Oh, they did?
By according to the Babylon Bee, publishing a real news story.
CNN publishes real news story for April Fool's Day. They're brilliant. That is funny.
Yeah.
I don't care who you are. That's funny. Fooling thousands of readers in a prank that the cable news organization said was just for fun. CNN published a real news story for April Fool's Day this year.
I love it.
This story simply contained a list of facts with no embellishment, editorializing, or invented details. The story also didn't cite shaky anonymous sources and only quoted first-hand witnesses to the event.
I love this.
It was completely factual without any errors whatsoever. Baffled CNN fans immediately knew something was up. I was reading the story and I was like, wait, what is this? Said one man who relies on CNN for his fake news every morning. They really got me good. Then I looked up at the calendar and realized I'd been duped. A classic gag.
A classic gag. So good.
Those little rascals, he added, shaking his head and laughing good-naturedly. As long as they return to their regularly scheduled fake news tomorrow, we're good. We're good. Really funny.
So good. They always
really
outdo
creative.
themselves over there.
I love that. 888-900-3393. Something I don't love is what's going on in Virginia right now. It's not bad enough they're trying to take everybody's guns away, but when somebody uses their legally owned and obtained gun in self-defense and they get arrested.
This story is insane.
We'll get to this coming up after the break. You'll not believe this. It's amazing. 888-900-3393. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up. Welcome to it. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. From Corey Paw. Comforting news. Virus models are at least as accurate as climate models. Beta Bodine tweets, I suggest you see your vet as soon as possible for a barking cough.
Yeah.
Pat. Yeah.
You got a barking cough.
Good advice. Jeffy's droopy thong. By the way, Jeffy's going to fill in for me as soon as he gets up. He's actually asleep. We called him. a few minutes ago, and I'm a little hurt. He wasn't up listening to the show.
Right?
He's actually in bed.
Now,
slug, get up! Don't you know the show's on now?
Here's how that went down. Pat calls Jeffy, and Pat's phone promptly dies because Pat never charges it, doesn't use it. So then I call him, and Jeffy answers the phone, and what does he say?
Talk.
He
was not pleased to be awakened from his beauty rest.
Whoa. Boy, he has a lot of sleep to catch up on.
Yeah, he's got about 10,000 years to sleep to get anywhere near even acceptable, let alone beauty. Jeffy's droopy thong, have the Xbox play football against itself. There's your football season.
No.
I used to bet on those games.
You what?
Wow. Okay.
Used to.
On Xbox games? Is that a real thing? Can you do that?
I don't know if you can bet against anybody that wants to bet with you. I mean, the fact that there was two people in the world that met each other that decided it was a good idea to bet on games. Yeah, Rob down the hall is telling me, yeah, it's going to be a thing. Yeah, no kidding. And of course, I can't judge too much. I may or may not have bet on a cricket game before.
You may or may not.
I may or may not have.
You knew enough about cricket and the teams involved?
So much, too. Like I read a thing.
Okay.
I lost.
Awesome.
Yeah, I lost.
What a surprise.
Yeah.
Aren't you only supposed to bet on things that you
sure
really know about?
Oh, yeah, that's why I lose money on the Falcons every year.
Okay.
I think I'd know better. Oh, never put money on Rory McIlroy to win the Masters either. Just a pro tip for you.
Yeah, I wasn't going to, so that just reinforces
I'm talking to the listeners that may be
Okay.
so inclined if we ever have the Masters again.
Yeah, that's the thing. Are we going to have a Masters again? Are we going to have football? Are we going to have basketball? Are we going to have baseball?
Wimbledon was just canceled for the first time since World War II.
Right. Are we going to have any rights at the end of all of this? New Orleans police are jailing people for minor offenses, which is fantastic. They're also, I love this story. In Europe, they're using Bluetooth-enabled armbands to track people who are infected. So when you get infected, you get the armband, and then they get to track you all over the place.
Oh, my.
I mean, this is starting in Europe. With their track record, what could possibly go wrong?
What country's doing that?
A lot of European countries are doing that.
What?
Yeah. Is that great? Oh, so you're liking it, and you want them to bring it here? Because I'm sure they're thinking about it.
Who wants that?
I don't know.
But see, when people do stupid things in a society, then it leads to outcomes like we're seeing now with all these crackdowns and stuff. Can we show the video of the lady out in Stockton, California, touching every laptop in the store? I mean, what in the world? Look at her, she's making sure she's touching everything. Oh, she's just shopping. She's just trying to see which ones. Oh, is she? Watch this and listen to the narrator. Watch this. Touching laptops.
We gotta touch them all. We gotta touch them all. All of them gotta be touched.
What are you doing?
They all have to be touched. You sure? Oh.
Seriously, Al,
Why are you
what are you
touching all of
doing?
them? You know the coronavirus is going on right now. You sure? Yeah, but your hands are everywhere. You're literally.
See, I mean,
why aren't you telling her to stop it? Stop doing that! That's unbelievable.
When you share space with people like that, you get laws like this.
Very true. Yes, very true. But the rest of us are supposed to be protected from that because of a thing called the. What is it? I can't even remember anymore. It's been so long since we paid attention to
brain
it.
fart about the same thing.
It's that document. What is it? It's not the Magna Carta.
I don't want to look stupid, but I think it might be. Is it this Constitution?
Oh, that sounds familiar, vaguely.
I mean, if I'm wrong, I apologize.
Is it something we ever adhered to?
No, of course not. It's outdated. A bunch of racist white guys wrote some words down. We're supposed to follow them?
Yeah, slave owners.
Right?
We're supposed to listen to them. They didn't foresee it either. They didn't know about COVID-19. What do they know?
That's what I love. I love that argument that I'm hearing more and more. The founding fathers couldn't have, because, they use the whole assault weapon thing. Oh, they couldn't have seen bullets go, duh, 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 duh. Okay, they couldn't have seen a global pandemic killing. I don't know. What's smallpox?
Right.
They have lived this, man.
Yeah. Yeah, but because they hadn't They didn't have airplanes at the time. They can't do anything that that involves technology. We can't apply the Constitution to obvious areas where the Constitution should always apply. By the way, we checked into some of the fake cures and some of the scams that are going around. Yesterday, we talked about, for instance, the Costco situation where Costco was offering $130 worth of freebies if you clicked this link. Absolute scam. It wasn't from Costco. There's nothing going on like that. Well, also circulating on the internet are a bunch of ridiculous cures that people are actually buying into without doing any research on it. You know, I mean, first of all, I think we can safely advise you not to try fish tank cleaner to fight against any kind of illness or to take orally in any way. Don't take it rectally either, but I thought it's probably more obvious to take it orally. Even though the fish tank cleaner does have a similar name to the drug the president mentioned, I think it's fairly rare for a legitimate pharmaceutical company or a drug that comes from a legitimate pharmaceutical company to be used in cleaning products. I don't think that happens as a rule. But some other examples of things that are circulating online include drinking household bleach, which doesn't seem like that's another very bad idea, and using cocaine. Hey, if you become a cocaine freak, a coke addict, then you won't get the virus. How could you possibly believe that? They have some other recommendations for killing the virus. Gargling with vinegar. I think we mentioned before, vinegar has been put out there as a possible cure. Eating garlic or using a blow dryer, a hair dryer, to blow hot air into your nose.
Wait, I'm sorry?
I don't know how that could help.
Okay, so let's noodle this one out here, okay? Heat kills the virus, right?
Okay. Oh, there you go.
And
That's
if it
what
goes
it is.
in your nose, then you want to heat it up?
Then does it go down your...
I mean, you're not going to... Wait, what?
Your respiratory
Why don't you
system?
just wipe your nose out. Because I was kidding around when I used Clorox wipes to kind of swab the inside of my nasal cavities here. I mean, right? But these people are shooting a hairdryer up there. Are they have to aim it at their eyes too?
So
or
bizarre.
their mouth? I mean, how does this?
I don't know.
Help me.
I don't know. You know, when people are this stupid, it's hard to help them. It really is.
I would say power the country down, but that's been done for us.
It's already happened.
It is
yeah, by demand of the government.
Literally already happened.
Jeez.
So cool.
Yeah. So there's a couple of treatments that apparently do not work if you're about to try one of them.
So yeah,
they don't actually
I mean,
work.
and it's an icebreaker tonight. It's a conversation starter with your neighbors when you're standing out in the driveway today, killing time, stretching your legs and stuff. Just, hey, so you guys tried that hairdryer thing yet? Don't.
I did it last night. Didn't help at all.
Yeah, I heard
didn't help at all.
I heard on a show.
It don't work.
It doesn't work, apparently.
What does work is listening to Larry David, or really any of these celebrities that are getting bored and putting out videos. The latest in the long line is a public service announcement from Larry David. This will work, no doubt.
Hello.
Hi.
I'm Larry David.
Hi, Larry.
Obviously, somebody put me up to this because it's generally not the kind of thing I do. But I basically want to address the idiots out there. And you know who you are. You're going out. I don't know what you're doing. You're socializing too close. It's not good. You're hurting old people like me. Well, not me. I have nothing to do with you. I'll never see you. But, let's say other old people who might be your relatives. Who the hell knows? But the problem is you're passing up a fantastic opportunity, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to stay in the house, sit on the couch, and watch TV. I mean, I don't know how you're passing that up. Well, maybe because you're not that bright. But here it is.
Wow.
Go home, watch TV. That's my advice to you.
Well, thanks.
If you've seen my show,
here we go.
Nothing good ever happens going out of the house. You know that.
Right.
There's just trouble out there. It's not a good place to be. So stay home and don't see anyone Except maybe if there's a plumbing emergency, let the plumber in and then, wipe everything down after he leaves. But that's it. Okay.
Okay, wow, that was powerful.
California, your tax dollars at work.
Was that seriously from
That's from the
state?
governor's office of California. That's their public service announcement. I would like to point out, though, I don't know that Larry David was at home. He looks like he was in a hotel.
Yeah.
Unless he just has a really crappy taste in drapes or what. But it looks like
And
he's
chairs.
sitting in a corner of a hotel room. Larry David getting out of the house to make that for us.
Oh, man. Well, where would we be without all these elitists telling us how to live and what to do? We'd all be dead, right?
Well, wait now. There is a celebrity that's not telling us what to do, but telling us how she feels. And Cardi B is not doing well with this lockdown stuff.
No, don't say that.
Play that, guys.
Don't say that.
Yeah, Cardi B's not doing well.
Like, I shouldn't be eating cereal. Like, I should be in a restaurant eating sushi.
I shouldn't be eating cereal. I should be sushi eating at a restaurant. Oh, no.
Like, why are we going through this? I don't understand it.
Right? Why are we going through this? It's a great question. Eat your cereal. Cardi B.
Is she serious or
She's
is she
not doing
mocking?
well. No, she's not doing well. She can't take this. She's playing by the rules. She's not going out to sushi restaurants like she likes. And she's sitting at home eating cereal and recording it for us.
Like she likes.
Mm-hmm.
She's not surfing the web. She's on dial-up.
Oh, she's surfing the web. And in fact, I saw a thing where she had that weird video that she posted earlier this month. Leads the world as far as views on Instagram for the month of March. 27.8 million views. This one video, not that one.
Of hers?
Of hers, yeah, where she's standing there talking about the coronavirus. And yeah,
Gotta be kidding me.
Yeah. It's good stuff, right?
How hard up are we for celebrities? Well, I mean, Kardashians, Cardi B, we're really hard up. We're really, all this Animal Kingdom guy, the Lion King or the Tiger King.
Joe Exotic, yeah.
Holy crap, that is a freak show. Have you seen any of it yet?
No, I don't have Netflix, remember?
Oh, that's right.
I dropped that.
That's right.
So I hate it that
You're not
missing
missing
out
much.
on
No, you're not missing. I mean,
Tiger King.
It's just so bizarre, so weird. And
so how many episodes have you given it?
Too many. Too many.
Oh no.
Yeah,
You're liking it.
Oh.
Is it like a car crash you can't turn away from?
Yes, exactly like that. It's exactly like that.
Okay. You had teased the story out of Virginia. I didn't know if you wanted to get to that before you.
Yes, I did before Jeffy comes in to relieve me here. A guy defending himself he was at a store. He was actually living in the store because of the coronavirus.
Yep.
And it's in Arlington, Virginia, at a smoke shop there. So out of the fear of the coronavirus, he's staying there. And in the middle of the night, 4:30 in the morning, Sunday, burglars smashed a window and broke into the store, not realizing anybody was living in the store, of course. So the employee fired off several rounds just to scare him. He wasn't even shooting at them. Well, he accidentally hit one of them. One of the rounds fired by the employee hit one of the burglars, but he wasn't injured fatally. But even if he was, the guy broke in and got shot. That's on him.
And police showed up and commended this guy for defending the store, correct?
No, it was a little different than that. They showed up and arrested him because he should have run out the back door.
Right.
Their question
he should have
is, why didn't you run out the back door?
Oh my gosh.
I don't know. I'm defending life and property here.
And you know what they found at the back door later were duffel bags and a weapon. Who knows what could have happened there? He could have been killed. He could have killed them when he crossed paths with them.
That is unbelievable.
But because you didn't run away, Virginia, you better get a grip on your state because it is falling away fast.
He faces 20 years in prison.
I can't.
Being held without bail.
Well, yeah. So they set bail at $25,000, and the grateful store owner was trying to raise this money to get him out, and then the prosecutor made something, I don't know, made it more difficult or jacked the price up or something by objecting to. I don't understand what's happening in Virginia.
That is nuts. That is absolutely. Why didn't you leave? Why didn't you run out the back door? Well, there's no guarantee that he would have made it out the back door with these douchebags who broke in. How do we know? How do we know they wouldn't have hurt him, jumped him, killed him? Do we know if they were armed?
Right, yeah. Instead of the police showing up to say, thank you, good citizen, for stopping this crime, he is now facing legal challenges. The gun was legally owned. There's nothing like that with the weapon that was used.
Right.
It's madness. And the owner of the store knew he was there and is grateful for him protecting his business. This thing is messed up.
Apparently you have no right to defend. There's no castle defense. I'm defending my home. I'm defending my castle. Even if it's your business or you're an employee at a business, you should be able to defend yourself.
I mean, if there's ever a case of an immediate, clear and present threat.
Yeah, it's somebody breaking in at 4:30 in the morning.
I don't understand.
It's crazy. It is absolutely crazy on so many different fronts right now that it's hard to get your head around it all. All right, 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Hopefully Jeffy will be up and running here and relieve me and
I hope you feel better.
Voice. Thank you.
And just to be clear, it's not the COVID.
Not COVID-19. No fever. Okay, no fever. So
it's not the COVID.
No, it's not the COVID. All right, hopefully we see you tomorrow. If not, then on Monday. Jeffy's filling in with Keith coming up here. Zach.
Here, Pat has actually gone home. Look how sad it is over there. It's just an empty spot where there was a Pat Gray. And look at that. I mean, it's just so he's gone. Not COVID-19. All right, but he strongly suspects that it is croup, and he blames his grandson. This is a good opportunity. If you don't see the empty spot where there was a Pat Gray, Blaze TV is now on Pluto TV. So be sure to check that out because we're live over there. It's a channel you can download on Roku. It's on Amazon Fire, Google Play, the Apple iStore. So look for Pluto TV and you can watch us live right now where there was a Pat Gray on the other side of the room on Pluto TV. So Jeffy, we roused out of his hibernation this morning.
Oh, I was sleeping. I had drool on the pillow.
Are you loving it?
Yes. I was all ready to. Almost every day, almost to the T every day. I get up, I listen to the show, I do my show prep for Chewing the Fat.
Pat's not here. You don't have to lie, dude. Pat's not here.
And then, so today, my alarm went off, and I was like, I'm just gonna lay here today. I don't feel like getting up. I'm at home. I'm doing it right today. I can just roll over and go back to sleep. Nope, can't do that, fat man.
Hey, that's Murphy's Law, man. That's Murphy's Law.
Get up and then get your stuff together and get up into your quarantine bunker. Okay, I'm here. Welcome. Hello. I hope and pray right now. I was saying just a quick silent prayer for Pat Gray. That is just group. That's all I want it to be. That is just grand baby.
That's where we are. That's where we are in 2020. We're praying for croup. We want the man to have croup. So is Jeffy, is this going to be audio only with you today?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. I don't see your beautiful face. Makes me sad.
I see my face back. Maybe they're just working on putting it up and getting it back.
Very good. Very good.
Maybe put little stew screen on the Pat chair, and just put my face on the screen there. I'm okay with that.
Yes, or we could be doing the audience a favor. So what were you going to talk about later today on Chewing the Fat? What was something that you were going to get to? Because I've got a lot of stuff here that we can still get to. There is actually some fun stuff. If it ever gets too depressing, I may just pull the rug right out from under you and say, hey, no, we need some fun stuff. So if you need some of that, let me know. But
well, I mean, sure. I mean, right. We can't get enough of the fun stuff. Mm-hmm. There's no question because we're all looking at the numbers, and I'm not sure. I'm sure you probably went over them already today with the way that the COVID-19 numbers are. But the USA is we're over 5,000 deaths already.
Yeah.
Wow, we're over 5,000 deaths already. But we have 215,357 cases. I mean, that's the numbers are really piling up. And like the president said, right, the next couple weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, are supposed to, get worse. Well, we're hoping that all of this government interaction of shutting people down and telling people to stay home and you can't do what you normally do flattens that curve. Right? I mean, we want that curve flattened. And the death number is the one that counts, right? I mean, the people who have it, I mean, we don't want people to get sick. We'd rather have them get the croup.
Right.
But we don't want them to get COVID-19, but we'd much rather them get it and not die.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The peak they're talking still April 15th.
Right.
So that's where we stand on that. And these numbers, these worldwide numbers especially, I mean, they're devastating. But that's without complete honesty from China. So who knows? It's probably even worse. I did see yesterday we were ranked 24th in per capita as far as deaths. So, I mean, for what that's worth, while we are, at the top of the list, we're not, we're actually 24th, with per capita. Did you notice yesterday, I don't know, I don't want to put you on the spot here. Are you watching the coronavirus press conferences with Trump and the officials every day? I try to catch it.
Not all of them, but I mean, I do catch them. Yeah, I catch most of them on and off.
Okay, so yesterday they spent the first half hour was just all about what the military is doing. It was a way to show that, we're still strong. Don't mess with us. We're still in control. And
they were concerned about the cartels trying to still. I mean, look, people are in their homes. They need their drugs. I don't know what kind of America you think we're living in, but I mean, we have about. Look, I figure we have. I talked about this on Chewing the Fat. I figure we have about another 30 days where we're going to know everybody's true hair color. Nobody's gonna have their fingernails shiny and new. Mm-hmm. Everyone's going to start to come off their meds. I mean, we see Hollywood coming off their meds already. Yeah. Right. I mean, meds are starting to we need to get the shipments in. So, I mean, if they're going to stop all the drugs from coming in and we've got to do this. Oh no.
Yeah. The last tweet, I went back and I looked during that press conference. What was the last tweet that Trump had? It was much earlier in the day. But what was the last tweet that the president had before the press conference? And it was this one. Upon information, this is the president tweeting yesterday, upon information and belief, Iran or its proxies are planning a sneak attack on U.S. troops and or assets in Iraq. If this happens, Iran will pay a very heavy price indeed. So I think that press conference yesterday, the coronavirus update was geared toward, we need to remind the rest of the world that we are still the premier military force on the planet.
Yes.
And I think that's exactly what the goal of that press conference was, and it was convincing.
And most people are I mean, we as Americans, we like to see that, and we like to say, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. USA. Don't forget it.
And I think the president is right to keep a close eye on Iran because by multiple counts, that country is falling apart under the weight of the coronavirus and all of the sanctions. And so what does a desperate country do? I have no doubt that he's absolutely correct in suspecting a sneak attack on our troops over there because that country, more than any right now, I would guess, needs a war. I'm serious. I mean, that's
no question to bring them to try. Hopefully,
right.
I don't know that actually brings Iran together, but that's probably true.
Yeah. So anyhow, that's
and we have the coronavirus affecting. Look, we believe that men and women who are weather personalities, weathermen, doing our reports across America every night we figure they're not that accurate anyway. They don't always get everything right. We're supposed to believe they come pretty close to that, but they're already crying that because of the cut down on aircraft flights around the world, apparently the airplanes give vital weather data.
Oh yeah.
As they're flying, so we're not collecting the temperature and wind data among other information that helps the atmospheric conditions.
Hold on a second. Hold on.
Yes.
Clue me in here. Hold on. You're telling me like commercial flights, that is gathering weather data?
I'm sure that's not all the data that it's collecting, but yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Wow, I didn't know that they use those. Okay, interesting.
So we're already, because of that, they're saying, ooh, we're going to see, we're not going to be able to forecast properly. And we're coming up on thunderstorms and local storms. And
they're already making excuses for their 5-day forecasts?
We're approaching severe weather season in the Northern Hemisphere. And,
hey, we're not
going to be able. So they're already making excuses.
It wasn't, stop. It wasn't 1 month ago, right here in Irving, Texas, where the weather forecast that morning said all the rain that we've been having, that's moving out. It's gone. It's going to be a sunny day. It was cloudy, drizzly, rainy, cool all day that day. And this forecast was mere hours on the same day. Don't tell me you've got an excuse now built in. You
Absolutely. Can't. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter that we all advertise. We've got Doppler radar, spectrum weather radar scope at 5. No, we can't. That doesn't help. We have thousands. We have over 5,000 satellites orbiting the globe. I know they're not all weather satellites. I got it. But we have over 5,000 satellites orbiting the globe, and we're going to blame it on because we don't have planes flying. Okay, all right.
Hold on a second. I don't want to put you on the spot because we literally woke Jeffy up to join me this morning. Because again, if you're just tuning in, Pat was here for the first hour. Came down with croup or something. He doesn't have a fever. It's not COVID-19, but he went home sick.
I will say that it is a problem when I look at my phone and it's Pat Gray calling me.
Yeah. How'd you like that?
His phone?
He called you and then his phone died because he hasn't hooked it up to a charger in 6 months. And so when he finally needs it to do something, it fails. And then, of course, you got the call from me. So this story, as I was printing this story up this morning, all I could think of was, man, I wish it was a Wednesday or a Friday. Jeffy needs to comment on this story. And if you already did this on Chewing the Fat, which is your podcast, available wherever free podcasts are sold, if you already did this on Chewing the Fat, I apologize. I'm a couple days behind. But this story just had me thinking of you. An engineer of a train ran the train off of the tracks in Los Angeles on purpose. Because
I did see the headline for that, and I have it saved to read about today.
He was trying to crash into that Navy ship Mercy that's acting as a hospital ship off of the coast of L.A. He was trying to do that, and he was. This is what made me think of you. I was like, oh man, Jeffy would be talking about this. He was holding a flare in his hand as he was driving the locomotive toward the ship. What in the world?
So strange. Well, again, I mean, that goes back to people off their meds. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, we need to get medicines to them. Whether it's, I mean, when I say off their meds, I don't necessarily. I mean, I don't seem to hear too much about prescriptions yet.
Well,
I mean, the pharmacies are still open. They're
if you recall,
they're essential businesses and they're open. And I mean, I have picked up prescriptions. I know, a big surprise, but I have picked up prescriptions already during the quarantine. So I mean, they're still doing their jobs.
Yeah,
but go ahead.
I was going to say about a week ago, the FDA said there is a shortage of one drug. We're not going to tell you which drug that is, but it was beginning. Yeah.
So, I mean, we need to, I realize that we need to have a war on drugs, but maybe not.
So I think you're right. I think this guy was probably off his meds because the train crashed into a concrete barrier at the end of the track, smashed through a steel barrier and a chain link fence, slid through one parking lot, and then a second lot filled with gravel and hit a second chain link fence. It came to rest after passing under a ramp leading to the Vincent Thomas Bridge. No one was injured in the derailment, but the train leaked fuel that required a hazmat response. But basically, he said that, I totally did this on purpose. I didn't plan it in advance. I was acting alone. He told a CHP officer, quote, "You only get this chance once. The whole world is watching. I had to. People don't know what's going on here. Now they will." What's going on? It's a hospital ship. You were trying to crash into the USS Mercy?
And I'm not sure, and I don't know that trains can fly. I'm not sure how you get a train from one track into a ship. I'm guessing there's some kind of distance between the actual tracks. I know trains are probably, making deliveries. I get it.
Yeah.
To different areas next to ships, and that's who delivers to the cruise ships. And obviously there's no cruise ships happening, but I mean that's what they're doing, right? I mean, people are delivering goods and services. So I'm not sure. I'd like to see if that train could actually make that.
Well, look, it almost did. I mean, it's impressive enough that it smashed through a steel barrier and a concrete barrier, a chain link fence, through a parking lot, then a second lot filled with gravel, and then a second chain link fence. It almost made it. I mean, he almost got there. But you're right about people off their meds. Do we have the video? This guy, he orders online an order at Walmart. He goes to pick it up, and they were out of stock. Surprise, surprise. This is no longer first world America. They're out of stock of one of the items that he wanted. And so when he shows up and the kind folks at the Walmart grab and go thing tell him this, he didn't take that news so well. Watch this. All right, he's being informed.
Get me the order right now!
Okay. Oh, hello. And so it begins in America.
Dude.
Yeah, so that was a GFD he dropped there. Give me the blanking order right now, as he screamed right in the face of that young lady who is not making nearly enough money to suffer that kind of abuse from a customer.
And look, could that have happened outside of the quarantine world?
Sure.
Yes, absolutely, It could have. There's no doubt in my mind that could have happened. And we would have been watching the same video going, hey, look at these crazy people at Walmart for not getting his medicines. And can you believe it? They were just waiting. Because most pharmacies now, even if they're out of a medication, it's in shipment, right? It comes in. We can get it here by tomorrow at 4 p.m. and we'll have it for you. We'll give you a call and everything will be fine. And you're like, oh, okay, no problem. In today's world, if it's late, you're this guy going, what's going on? Where's my meds? I need my medicine.
Yeah, and who knows what it was. It could have been an item that he's been trying to get for weeks.
Right.
I mean, he just
right.
He lost him. Have you talked about on Chewing the Fat? And let's talk about this after the break here. But have you talked about the dog who was learning how to drive? Did you already get to that one on your show, Chewing the Fat?
We have talked about animals starting to take over cities, though.
Okay, all right. So
life after people.
Okay, so apparently a dog owner was training his animal for life after people, and so we'll have to talk about that next. Let's take a quick break. More with Pat Gray Unleashed. Pat under the weather right now, but more with myself, Keith Malinak, and Jeff Fisher on the other side. This is Pat Gray Unleashed on the Blaze. I'm in an empty room now, and people are afraid to come in here. So this is a good feeling. But
that's true.
Yeah. Hi, Jeffy. Are you still out
Hello.
there? Oh, yay. I still have connection.
Welcome to the quarantine world.
That's right.
Self-distancing, even if it's up to other people and not just you.
I suspect I'm going to be mandated to be at home tomorrow to broadcast, but we'll see how that plays out. Okay, so let me hit some tweets here. At Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Don't forget to use the hashtag put that in your pipe. If you'd like to reach out to myself directly, it's at Keith Malinak. Good luck spelling it. And Jeffy is at JeffyJFR on Twitter. So Bovine Scatology says, wait, there's not enough toilet paper to go around, but the EU has a surplus of Bluetooth-enabled armbands to track the infected. That's a great point. That's a scary story for beyond coronavirus, these Bluetooth tracking devices. Cheryl Henson, there's a hole in the studio where the Pat once was. And there it is, right there. Liberty's, let's see, hold on, I'll get to that in a second here. Notion mongering, mongerer of notions. When Jeffy sees that it's Pat calling early in the morning, it's like the bat phone ringing at Bruce Wayne's home. When it's Keith calling, it's talk. Or no, no, you said speak. What was it? What did you say? Speak. So there you go. Liberty Squirt. I think referring to your facial hair, Jeffy, says, I see the yes votes won on growing the beard.
Yes, they did.
Okay, what was the vote total?
69, almost 70% to 30.
Okay.
That 2 yes votes, and I'm putting my foot down.
Oh yeah.
Putting my foot down. That's it.
What does that mean?
That means that I'm growing it
until after this thing is over. Like, how do we know when the day to shave it is? Like when we're
the
down
original
to.
Was my plan was a quarantine beard. So when the quarantine is over, then I'll shave.
When the Texas quarantine is over.
Wow, why are you getting so picky with this?
Because I want to put a date on it. Right now, it's May 4th. Schools are canceled in the state of Texas. So are we assured a Jeffy beard through May 4th? You're on the record. Go.
We're assured of that unless other things happen.
Okay. Unless Amber says otherwise. Back to you.
Very possible.
Yeah.
It's very possible.
And see, before this whole coronavirus madness started with the quarantines and everything, I honestly started growing a beard just because it's the honest truth. I was just so busy during the stretch to shave. I didn't have time to shave. And eventually it was just like, you know what? I'm just going to leave it. But I remember telling myself, and maybe I said it publicly a few weeks ago, I said, I am not going to have this beard on Easter Sunday. It's just not happening. So my plan is to shave it by a week from Sunday. Have we canceled Easter too? Is that still a thing?
Well, no, obviously you can't actually cancel Easter. Easter is Easter. But good luck having your Easter services.
Right. Should churches just plan on having Easter services in July now?
Or you have them, maybe online. I mean, that's the deal, right? I mean, every church just needs to have their services online.
Okay.
Otherwise, we're going to throw you in jail and shut you down. That's the new America.
That's happening all over the place now. Florida, Louisiana, Baltimore. That's happening. New York, I think.
I know.
And New York, you won't even have the opportunity to show up because de Blasio was talking about just shutting you down permanently because nothing would satisfy a communist mayor more than no churches or synagogues in his town.
It's incredible. We must keep the liquor stores open. They're essential, but we don't have churches. No, they are not essential.
Not essential.
What?
So we teased before the break that a guy in the state of Washington, he was arrested following a high-speed chase. Those are still happening, apparently. And you got a lot more room to maneuver now, too, if you're
no kidding.
If you're in the lead car. When they called up to the driver of this 96 Buick, wow, he got a 96 Buick up to 100 miles an hour. I mean, that's a story in of itself.
Oh, yeah. Big engine. Those things are good.
Okay, good. Well, I mean, he's still, how old's that car? It's 24 years old. Okay. Anyway, when they pulled the car over, there was a pit bull in the driver's seat. And the guy was in the passenger seat working the pedals. Now, because that would have been a story in 2020, regardless of the virus situation.
Yes.
And this feels like good times. This kind of story. Dog driving a car in Washington State. Normalcy in the news. Yay. So this guy.
His excuse was.
Let's see. When we took him into custody, he admitted to our troopers that he was trying to teach his dog to drive. I've been a trooper for almost 10 years. Never arrested anyone. Let's see. Oh, look at that. Drugs and alcohol were involved. I mean, that's a shocker, right? It's a shocker.
That is a shocker.
People are going to some extreme circumstances during this lockdown to get their Cheeto fix. Look at this guy. He sent his dog across the street, attached a $20 bill and a note to it. Look at that Chihuahua. Boy, that Chihuahua is a murderer.
That's a good plan.
Yeah, and he sent it to the convenience store across the street, and sure enough, the dog came back with Look at that. The dog came back with Cheetos in its mouth, and but no change. Where's the change? Surely that didn't cost $20. But I mean, nice delivery fee. Does the dog get a cut?
Yeah, maybe you have to get one of those little Saint Bernard.
The
purses
little
under the neck.
The barrel thing under the neck. Yeah. So anyhow,
really good.
That was kind of that dog to help out. People doing some extreme things during the lockdown. We got a couple more stories about how people are spending their newfound free time. And I want to ask Jeffy what he's doing with his days. Coming up, Pat Gray Unleash. Pat out sick today. Jeffy and myself coming back. All right, in for Pat Gray. I'm Keith Malinak with Jeff Fisher. Pat went home.
Hi.
Yeah, Pat went home sick, but it's not COVID-19. Okay. All right. By the way, just a reminder.
I don't want it to be.
Right?
No.
We're rooting for Croup.
Hose that place down, bro.
Oh, absolutely. Trust me. Yes. If you aren't aware, Blaze TV is now available on Pluto TV, which is a free app/channel that you can download on your Roku, your Amazon iStore, right? What is it? Google Play, the Amazon Fire. So anyway, Pluto TV, we are now available. Blaze TV. Check it out for free. And thanks a lot, Jeffy, for waking up and joining us here today.
Of course, I told you. Normally, I mean, it's truly Murphy's Law that
one day you thought you could sleep.
My alarm goes off usually about 5:45, 5:50, depending on which one I set. And I thought this morning went off, and I was like, I can't today. I'm working from home. Darn it! I get to roll over once in a while.
There you go.
No, that's not the case. Don't do it. You got to stay on schedule. Working from home is really strange. It's all about new time management and new scheduling, and because you could just not take a shower and not worry about it. You know what I mean? It just doesn't matter. I'm not going to go outside. I don't care. I'm going to be in my t-shirt. I'm not going to take a shower. I don't care. Deodorant? Why do I need that? I'm not going out in public. I don't care. And so you just got to kind of try to work through that in your own mind. Like, okay, we got to be on schedule. We got to keep everything, going as close to schedule as possible.
Yep.
And it's difficult because when you take a break, then the break is, okay, well, I'm going to sit down and binge 2 or 3 episodes of a show that I'm watching. And then you're like, well, I don't feel like doing anything else. So I'll just sit here and binge some more. It's okay. No problem.
Yeah. And not shave. Not shave
and
your
not
face.
shave.
Yeah.
And I'm not supposed to touch my face. And I'm not shaving. And all I want to do is touch my face.
Right. That's a great point. Yeah. So I saw an article, about how to set up your home office space. It needs to be a separate room away from everything else in the house that is set up like an office. And I have a feeling that after Carrie hears that Pat Gray went home sick today, my home office is going to be in our garage. Probably getting set up right now. Wi-Fi signal out there, not so great. But
so if you were to put up a chair and some sort of boxes in the attic, is there room to be in there? So you're up, you're not in the garage, obviously. I don't want to throw you in the garage. I want to put you in the attic.
Uh-huh.
So you just go up in the attic. Is there plenty of room? Can you plan on that?
It's not the most comfortable space, but it could be done. There's this one little spot where I think I could set up like a card table and a chair maybe. But the problem is when the AC kicks on, if I'm communicating with you guys, that would be a little loud up there. So we'll see how the next 24 hours play out. You have no idea what you're going to get tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Eastern here on Blaze TV. It could be Pat. Could be Pat from home. It could be me and Jeffy from our houses. I could be here. Jeffy could. I don't think they're going to allow me back in this building after today, though, after Pat left with his croup. So
I don't know. It's so difficult during these times. I mean, I really don't know. I mean, we're joking around a little bit, but it really is a difficult time.
Yeah, because, I mean, you get conflicting reports. Is it from touching your face? Does it hang in the air for 27 feet or whatever that weird MIT study that was misleading, by the way, claims? I mean, we don't know. We don't know. So just play it smart, and hopefully we can get through this. I have some tweets here. Lone Wolf tweets out, eating garlic prevents the coronavirus because if you eat enough, no one will want to come closer than 6 feet to you. And I don't know what it is about my 17-year-old daughter and her fascination with garlic. She loves garlic. And I'm not going to discourage that because whatever it takes to keep teenage boys away, keep eating that garlic.
That'll work.
Mm-hmm.
That will work.
Kara 3022. So Democrats are releasing inmates from prison for their health, asking thugs not to commit crimes, not arresting thieves who steal totaling less than $950. Now they're arresting the guy in Virginia who defends the business that he works at.
Right.
Right? What is wrong with this picture, she asks. I mean, seriously.
It's a good question. And people are questioning it all over the country and all over the world, really. I mean, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
It makes zero sense. I mean, if you try to make sense out of it, you say, okay, well, they're in an enclosed space, and if they're, I'm talking specifically about the prisoners they're letting out of jails. They're in a closed space, and we don't want, if one gets sick, then they're all going to be sick. So let's let the ones that aren't that violent out. I mean, I guess you try to work your way through it and get there, but it's tough.
They released
really tough.
child rapists in New York State. So Andrew Cuomo, whose approval ratings are through the roof now at 87%, just okayed the release of child rapists.
Wow.
What in the world? Makes no sense.
Multiple? I mean, more than one person?
Yeah, I can't remember if it was either 3 or 8 child rapists. I don't have the numbers right in front of me, but it was 3 of child rapists or something, 8 something else, or vice versa. Anyhow, yeah, multiples.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. So you were talking about how you're working from home now and you're trying to keep a routine. Do you find yourself with any more free time than usual? Like, how are you getting through the day? Because if you leave me any kind of opening whatsoever, I have some homework for you, Jeffy.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
You ready? Okay, so here's the thing.
Go ahead.
Jeffy allowed me to have a conversation with him, an interview, if you will, on my podcast, which is At the Mic. It's also available wherever free podcasts are sold. And that episode of At the Mic with Jeff Fisher as my guest was, and still is, so popular. To see how many people are downloading to get to know Jeff Fisher. They adore you. Your cult following.
You just listen to Chewing the Fat every day.
You can listen to Chewing the Fat every day as well, right?
I open up my soul on that show every day. What are you talking about?
And so I had you open up your soul in just a 1 hour chunk with me. And so I want to have another interview with you when things get back to normal, because they're gonna, right?
Yes.
Yes, they are.
Yes.
And
they sure are.
Here's your homework assignment. Start making a list as thoughts come to mind for you of Jeffy scams. People want to know, they want the definitive list, the definitive show, an explanation of Jeffy scams that you have pulled over the years.
They've worked so well. I mean, I am just living like a king. So you may not want to take everyone to heart.
That's awesome.
They'll all not work that well.
That's awesome. Just to be clear, you are at home, correct? That isn't a beautifufully decorated jail cell or anything like that. And what I'm getting at is a guy was just arrested in Michigan, which is your old stomping grounds.
Yeah.
Because he had spent decades flashing people up there.
Yeah.
And not you, correct?
No, it was not me.
Okay.
No.
Making sure.
It was a real life Chester the Molester, for anyone that remembers that throwback cartoon.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, Jeffy, that's your assignment for the next At the Mic that you and I can do, just talking about ways you have scammed the world in your lifetime. Did you hear about the tractor trailer that was driving through Texas on its way to San Antonio?
It was right here.
Yeah.
Right? It was right in Dallas County, right? It was right here, the county that we all work in. It's right there.
Yeah. So it caught fire, and it was transporting toilet paper, precious cargo, toilet paper.
No kidding.
Poof, up in flames. Bye-bye.
Right. I know people were concerned on social media if there were any skid marks, if what was, things like that were going through the.
But see, now look,
of people in America.
I don't know if you can see this from your vantage point, Jeffy, but that one shot we just had, it was those big like industrial rolls. You see that it would be like in a public bathroom or like an office building or something.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's bad. We're in need of any kind of toilet paper that we can get our hands on these days, but at least it wasn't like Quilted Northern or Angel Soft or something like that. I mean, that's obviously industrial.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're going to take what you can get, right? I mean, if that truck tips over on the highway and is not on fire, people are stopping. People are stopping. It's going to be like the Wells Fargo truck that tips over with the bag of cash blowing everywhere. People are grabbing up the big rolls of toilet paper.
Write that down for our next conversation. I love your plan on if you're ever behind a Brinks truck.
Tell me you don't want, when you see the Wells Fargo truck, you're not saying, please tip over, please.
Yes.
Okay.
And please reveal that your cargo that you're transporting is toilet paper.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. Well, I'd rather have the cash.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've talked to you about giving the idea of how to get money from the Wells Fargo truck. So.
Yep. If there's a news camera there, you got a plan B. We'll get to that.
That's right.
Yeah. So okay, Andrew Cuomo's nipples have been in the news.
Yes, they have.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they have. He's been all over the place because he's been Mr. Polo Shirt, Mr. Show Off, and he looks fine. I mean, he's in fairly good shape.
Mm-hmm.
He looks good. He's got the polo shirt. He's Mr. Workout. Mr. Likes himself a lot. And people were saying that he has some sort of piercings on his nipples. Okay, so I asked. I'm guessing yes.
No.
I know, but I can't make out whether it's like a skull and crossbones, or if it's X, or if it's like an airplane, or if it's it's not just a single starter bar. So he's had it for a little while. But who cares? Really, I mean, so what? He's got nipple rings. Big deal. He should know better. If he doesn't want to show them off, which he does, by the way, then wear a t-shirt or keep your jacket on. That's a little helpful hint too. His people will have him wearing jackets from now on at these press conferences. He won't be Mr. Show Off with the polo shirts, because his spokesperson, Rich as a Party, has said, of course not. Sorry, Internet. Of course not. What? Stop.
Let us have this, man.
He's not. Okay, so now we have to be careful. Is he handicapped? Does he have some sort of breast problem that we can't make fun of? Look, it doesn't matter if he has piercings. No. I mean, he's the governor, right? He's Mr. Big Shot. So we've got to go on. If he has them, it's fine.
Yeah,
Just
looks like there might be some tape involved too. Maybe they chafe.
Well, if they do, by the way.
Could be an issue. Could be an issue.
You can't take them. And it's tough if they're newer. You can't take them off right now. You got to wait till he's set. And if they're older, sometimes you don't want to take them off because it's just a pain to get them back in. Anyway, that's what I know.
Okay, so Jeffy, are you spending any time on lockdown outside exercising?
Oh man!
Right now, you're finally getting around to that regimen you've been looking forward to. Finally,
in this space upstairs is really my wife's office, and you can see frame life photography pictures.
Yeah,
and stuff.
She's a great photographer, by the way.
But I look out. I have the window here, and during the day I have it open, and I see. I mean, our neighborhood, families are out riding their bikes and walking, and people are out exercising.
Isn't that weird?
Every day.
Isn't that weird?
I look down and I see the same lady. She's going around the block 80,000 times every day, and I'm looking down, going, "Why?"
Yes, I think every neighborhood is going through this. Thankfully, it happened during spring. I realize it's still snowing in parts of the country. I see images on Twitter about, it's still cold apparently in parts of the country. But here, it's been absolutely beautiful. Remember when this thing started, we then had immediately 11 straight days of rain.
Right.
Okay, so now that the rain has stopped, it has been so beautiful for, the last week or so. 70 degrees, breezy, perfect weather. And I'm driving through the neighborhood, coming home at the end of the day, and there's people walking, kids riding bikes, people taking their dogs for walks. Someone was great on Twitter that said, when this thing is over, our dogs are going to go through the worst case of separation anxiety. So true. So true.
People are just going to let them go.
Yeah.
New York is saying that we don't even have dogs in the shelters. People are rescuing dogs in the hundreds. We can't even keep them in the shelters. When this is over, there's going to be packs of roving dogs in cities across America.
It's going to be like after Christmas. I was a cute puppy for a few months. Now I'm going to just let it go. Yeah. I'm going to take it back. Yeah.
But I am not. I find myself thinking again, why? I mean, I didn't do it before. When I was supposed to start now?
Yeah, right. Well, there's a couple that's stranded in Dubai. They're from South Africa, and they're stranded in Dubai, and they just ran a full marathon on the balcony of their hotel there or apartment or whatever the heck they're staying at.
Right. Well, I showed you the guy in France that ran his 26-some-mile marathon on his balcony, running back.
Oh, that's right. You did have that.
3,000 times back and forth.
No.
Remember, he said the only thing that kept him going was his girlfriend had M&Ms and Coca-Cola.
That's right.
As he was running back and forth. What's the point? Stop it.
All right. I mean, it's bad enough to run a marathon, but then to actually not get anywhere. Like,
I mean, you can't get the point of running a marathon, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, I haven't run a marathon in a little while.
In a little while? I can think of two reasons, but let's see what your point is.
But when you run a marathon, the object is to get that distance, right, and get that high, the body high, and get your endorphins going. And so you're in this. By about the 14th mile, you should be just kind of almost floating as you're going by. And if you're on a some sort of balcony, you never get that because you got to stop and turn around. You got to stop and turn around. You got to stop and turn around. You got to stop and turn around.
That's stupid.
It's just right.
That's a goldfish marathon. No, I thought that the two reasons for running a marathon would be to put the sticker on your car and not lie about it. I mean, because anybody could put a 26.2 sticker and just be like, "Yep, whatever." What? No, I didn't know what that meant. I just put it on there just because I like those numbers. And the other one would be so you could get the T-shirt, right? It's the T-shirt and the sticker.
I've got to get a sticker 18.
18. Yes. Yes.
Right. Oh, you got. Well, where was that marathon? It's a good city down the road a little ways.
That's a 2/3 marathon.
I mean, we have my neighborhood. Seriously, I technically live in Fort Worth, Texas. So. People are out walking around, as I said. But this is the same city that tore down basketball rims and volleyball nets and tennis nets all over this city this week.
Who did that? Because I've got Kingston, Tennessee doing that. Where are you got?
The city of Fort Worth.
Kingsport. Oh, Fort Worth's doing it?
City of Fort Worth, because people were out playing basketball this past weekend, and they said, we can't have that.
I mean... I see the I understand their reasoning, but I mean, it's hard for me to side with. See, I injure myself whenever I play basketball, so I'm kind of torn on this one. I'm a little biased. So I've got I still have bent fingers from playing basketball back in the day.
Yeah, I mean, but they took them down. They said they took the rims down, they took the nets down, and they said, stay away. It's just amazing. So I guess, you can play basketball in your driveway with less than 2 people.
Oh my gosh, look at this. Look at this picture.
Yeah.
They put incredible. A lock and a chain in front of the rim. All right. See, you know what this is?
Now that picture there, that's not bad. People could still play with that.
Yeah, well, what about the
you
board?
Could still play with that's tough.
Put a board there. Okay, so you know what this is? This is giving city workers something to do during this. That's what it's doing. And it's giving them something to do on the other side. That's all this is. It has nothing to do with social distancing. It's like, well, I don't have any work for y'all to do. Go and put this chain and these locks on the net down the street.
Yeah, there's only so many lawns you can mow.
Right.
There's only so many, and nobody's out. So once the trash can is empty, it's empty. Right. So, I mean, it's finding them work. That's not far from the truth.
You know what? City of Southlake, Texas, if you're listening, there's a job for you guys to do. It's mow the grass in front of your post office there in that little town center area. You're welcome. It is, seriously, it's like 4 feet high.
Are you going by the post office daily to take grass measurements?
No, seriously. I saw the grass there, and I thought, all right, you're not really helping us not think this is the apocalypse.
Is that not is it usually mowed, or is that like,
I don't know. I'm not really over there much. I mean, you have to find places to park now to eat because you can't go into restaurants. And so it was a quiet little street that I pulled over and ate my my Wendy's burger, whatever it was called, double with cheese.
Still going through drive-thrus?
Yeah, you can go through drive-thrus. Yeah.
Well, I know you can. I mean, I went to pick up something from the pharmacy, and of course, and the Chick-fil-A was packed. And my wife said yesterday that she was out, and by the way, the grocery stores were fully stocked, amazingly. Mm-hmm. She said that the Chick-fil-A and all the drive-thrus were just incredibly busy. So, I mean, people just want to get out. They just want to get out.
Yep. Since we're talking about South Lake, the South Lake Burger King, I hope your computers are working now because...
Oh, is that where you? Is that the video?
That was a frustrating ordeal trying to get them to. By the way, so many people are going through economic hardships right now, losing their jobs. Yesterday was rent day for so many people. This is such a tough time for people you know, possibly yourself. Suicide hotline, those numbers are getting blown up. People are calling. Please keep that in mind. You have a community. Like for this show, you have Pat Heads on Facebook, Twitter. I'll send out some links later. Get involved with a community online while you are on lockdown. And if you are going through tough times, there are other people out there that want to talk to you and can identify with what you're going through, I'm sure. So please stay in touch with each other while we're going through this madness. I'm sorry to screech that, but it had to be said because so many people are suffering right now, and this is only starting.
No, I 100%. It's really if you need anything that we can try to help with, email chewingthefat@theblaze.com and I'll do what I can. Yeah. We've gotten, and I have not. It's funny that you say that. I mean, I've gotten several emails where talking about that very thing, and it's people are struggling, and if you need help, get it, because it's easy, especially now that we're told not to go out. It's easy to fall into I can't talk to anybody, and it's only me, and I'm at home, and I can't do this anymore. But you can talk to people, and you can reach out, and it isn't just you.
And this sounds, you've got this show to listen to. You've got Jeffy's show, Chewing the Fat, Glenn coming up. Allow us into your home on a daily basis and share the time with us. And don't forget your homework assignment, Jeffy, is to write down all of your Jeffy scams for the next At the Mic interview that you and I are going to do. That's my podcast. Chad Prather was my victim this latest round. If you want to hear me talk to him about his life. Fascinating life.
I love Chad.
Chad has lived 5 lives already.
Half of those are lies.
What?
They don't believe anything he tells.
Oh, Chad Prather at the Mic interview, and you see if you can figure out which of those is a lie, because they're none of it. It's all the truth. Hush, Jeffy.
Yeah.
Don't besmirch the great Chad Prather. Anyhow, right. Thanks for jumping in. I really appreciate you.
Yeah. We'll see you tomorrow, probably.
Literally out of a slumber joining us today. Jeff Fisher. At JeffyJFR on Twitter, his podcast At the Mic, and we'll see what happens in the next 24 hours with Pat's health. I hope he feels better, and we'll see you in some form or fashion tomorrow here on Blaze TV. Free and live right now on Pluto TV. Go watch.
Pat Gray, only on the Blaze Radio Network.